Okay, so in today's video, we're going to be talking about Ford stock. Is it a good buy? Is it worth making an investment in the Ford, and where the company should be moving in the future? So right now, Ford is trading at $9.48. The stock is up 22% over the past year. So stock's been doing a lot better since Jim Hackett became CEO. I'm going to show you guys some quick numbers on Ford. We're looking at $37 billion market cap, price to earnings ratio of 22, and a 6% dividend yield. So all these numbers look pretty solid, and it's one of my favorite dividend stocks that I own in my IRA portfolio. So I just want to quickly dig into the recent Q3 2019 report so we can see exactly where Ford is moving in the future. So you can get all of this information by simply going to Ford's investor section and simply just looking at their newest press releases and quarterly reports. So as you can see, GAAP operating cash flow up, adjusted cash flow increased 80%. So those are great things to see. And Ford has always been a pretty cash-rich company. They're actually top 10 cash holding companies in the United States. So really doing a good job of just managing the business and taking a long-term approach to everything. So I want to quickly go over some of the statements by the CEO. Our global redesign is about making choices to transform our organization to become the world's most trusted company and clear leader in an era of rapid change. We're getting stronger today and we have more work to do. So I like the honest outlook from the CEO. They've made some progress, but there's a lot of work to do in the future. And a lot of that work has to do with simply electric vehicles and autonomous vehicles. So one of the nice things that I like to see is that Ford is aggressively working towards launching their autonomous vehicles. So I want to quickly show you guys how that's working out. So it says Ford will have an fully autonomous vehicle in operation by 2021. An effort to build fully autonomous vehicles by 2021 is a main pillar of Ford's smart mobility. So Ford is working hard on making those changes, and Tesla is actually one of the biggest competitors. And while we know Tesla is a much more aggressive company, Ford has been around for over 100 years, and the company has a lot more history and experience with dealing with consumer changes and taste. So we could take a look at one of their fully autonomous cars. We've got here, take a look at some of the pictures. So as you can see, Ford's doing the same thing Tesla's doing, albeit that Tesla seems to be a lot more hype and aggressive. And a lot of people have been talking about the run-up in Tesla shares, so I wouldn't talk about Ford as well. So as vehicle, so Ford is doing a lot of the same things that Tesla's doing, so I wouldn't worry about that if you think that's going to be. And then also I want to talk about some of the other things that Ford has done to diversify themselves. So I already talked about they launched their Ford Mobility self-driving vehicles in Austin, Texas, but they recently acquired an electric scooter and bike company called Spin, and that has grown a ton with more than 360 markets. So what Spin is simply a way for you to simply share an electric scooter. A lot of young people are ditching their cars and they're using things like electric bikes and electric scooters. And Spin, that's a really nice acquisition from Ford, so they can kind of tap into that changing market, because not everyone's going to own a car in the future, and it's a good thing that Ford realizes that, and they're making the necessary changes. So that's a nice thing to talk about. Now, one of the questions that some people may have is stock price so low in comparison to maybe a company like Tesla. And one of the reasons that how stock prices are affected is by shares outstanding. So what I'm pulling up right now, I'm pulling up a website called Macro Trends, really outstanding website that I use to do a lot of research. As you can see, we have some data here on the Ford Motor shares outstanding. So Ford has 4 billion shares outstanding, and the stock price is around $9.48. So the quickest way to figure out how many shares outstanding a company has is you simply want to take the market cap and you can just divide it by the stock price. That's one way to get the shares outstanding. Or like I like to do, you get data. But it doesn't just have all the data, like the number of shares outstanding for that particular day. It has a kind of the change over time. So we can kind of see the company is managing the shares outstanding, because we don't want to buy companies that are so heavily diluted. So I'm just showing you something on Ford right now. And okay, as we can see, Ford has been basically consistent around 4 billion shares over the last couple of years, diluting the stock, and they're making as many buybacks as well. So that's one compared to a company like far fewer shares outstanding. So I just want to quick shares outstanding. Latest quarter, they only had 4 shares outstanding. So they're slowly issuing shares. There aren't nearly as many. So that's why you're seeing such a spike in shares so quickly. So I just wanted to quickly answer that question in case some people were confused on why Tesla stock seems to run up so much faster. So about the dividend. One of the things I love about the Ford company is that they do pay a dividend. Okay, so one of the things I want to talk about was the Ford pays a dividend of 6.29% per year, and that's an annual dividend payout of 60 cents and a payout ratio of 48%. You can get all of these numbers at dividend.com, one of my favorite websites for doing stocks. So one of the things that I don't like about is that they're not rapidly increasing the dividend, but for me personally, I have a personal attachment to Ford. For instance, Ford is the first. They've been around since 1903. They invented the car basically, and my first car was a Ford Escort. So I kind of have a personal tie to the company. I've owned Ford shares for quite some time, and what I'm doing right now through my retirement account is I'm simply just reinvesting, having the dividend payments reinvest in shares. But if you maybe hold the stock in something like Robinhood or something like that, then you can simply hold on to that cash, or you can just manually rebuy the stock. So these are some of the things that I like about where Ford is going. Then I want to quickly touch on some of the new products and some of the new cars they have coming up. So you might have heard already if you're kind of following the company, but they just recently talked about their new Mustang upgrade. So they're coming out with an all-electric Mustang Mach-E that delivers power, style, and freedom for the next generation. So for the first time in 55 years, Ford is expanding the Mustang lineup with an all-electric Mustang Mach-EV. So guys, this is a really, really nice step forward for Ford itself. Now a lot of people are saying, oh well, you know, it doesn't look like a real Mustang, but let's take a look at some of these specs. It says a Mustang Mach-E GT performance brings the thrill Mustang is famous for 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, an estimated 429 horsepower. So even though it might not look traditionally like a Mustang, it still has the same power of a Mustang. And this is actually a car that I plan on getting when it launches. I've always wanted a Mustang, and I've always wanted an electric vehicle. So this seems like the perfect blend for me. So I plan on getting this car, God willing, when it releases. So this is one of the nice things that I think is cool, and the car will be available in late 2020. So this is kind of similar to how Tesla has launched their Cybertruck. The new Mustang is kind of the new product that I think will take Ford stock to $10 and beyond. So where will Ford stock go in the future? Well, you know, you really can't depend on past results. You know, past results do not predict the future, but as Ford continues to change, as they continue to diversify as a company, I don't think we'll see Ford stock under $10 in the next decade for long. I think that the company is well positioned and they pay that dividend. So as long as they're going to keep that dividend payment going and they're going to continue to change with the times, I really, really like their long term. So a couple things, last things I want to mention about Ford in general. Basically, there's a couple ways you can buy it. You can simply buy it on Robinhood, which is what I use now. But I actually own this stock in my Fidelity retirement account. And the reason I own this stock is because for some dividend stocks, I just prefer to automatically reinvest the shares. And that is one thing that you cannot do with Robinhood right now. You cannot automatically reinvest the shares. But it's probably a feature that they're going to launch in the future anyway, because they've been launching feature after feature. They just added fractional shares. As you guys can see here, I'm on the waiting list for fractional shares. So I'll be doing a video when fractional shares comes out. But you know, that's about it for Ford. I want to just show you guys some cool dividend stocks that you can add to your portfolio, and some stocks that are kind of priced under $10 sometimes. Maybe a stock like Tesla at $430 per share. You don't necessarily have the money to actually acquire one full share, or you're not really interested in the partial share thing. So this is a nice stock, very nice price stock, and I like where the company is moving into the future, so everything looks good. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please smash that subscribe button. It means so much to me. You guys support me and watch my content, and I hope you learned something from my videos. And also, if you have a financial investment channel as well, reach out. I'd like to see what you have to say about Ford stock. Do you think it's a buy? Do you think it's a sell? Are you more interested in Tesla? what exactly do you think the electric vehicle and the autonomous car market is going to go in the next direction. So also give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and give me some more ideas for some videos. Just leave a comment below and I'll do my best to respond and help you guys out. So that's it for now, guys. Hope you enjoy your holidays and take care.